Welcome to Sip and Say with Stephanie. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you doing this evening? I am Minister Stephanie Humphrey. Thank you for joining the Stephanie Humphrey Live on YouTube, which is the Stephanie Humphrey channel. Thank you for joining the Stephanie Humphrey podcast. As always, it is such a blessing to be in your home, your car, your office, wherever you might be at this time. It is such a blessing to be able to share the word of God with you, to share information with you. So you all know tonight is Sip and Say with Stephanie, and I'm excited to share this information with you tonight about heart health. So remember last week, I told you all that we are going to be talking about heart health this month because it is Heart Health Month, Heart Health Awareness Month. We talked last week about women. Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Let me ask you all, first of all, how are y'all doing? How are you doing emotionally? How are you doing spiritually? How are you doing mentally? How are you doing physically? How are you doing socially? How are you doing? Ooh, child, how am I doing tonight? I'm doing pretty good. I just got home, you all. I literally just got home at 6:18 p.m. because I was at a school and they had a sneaker ball and I went to the school. Y'all, when I say those babies looks, and I call it, they babies to me, they looked so beautiful and so handsome, and the families were dressed up. I just enjoyed myself. And you all know I can't go nowhere without serving. So, I'm serving food and helping out in that way. I didn't go to do that. Really went to go to just spend time with the kids and the families. But hey, I'll serve families because it gave me an opportunity to talk to the children and talk to the family. So I really enjoyed myself. And so I was like, well, at 6 o'clock, I was just like, ooh, I got to get home so I can get ready for the show. And so I did not leave right at 6, but I was scooting on up the road so I can get here and be on the show as close to 6:30 as absolutely possible. So that's how I'm doing. I have not had a chance to decompress from my day. I have not had a chance to eat yet, but you know what? I feel good. I'm feeling thankful. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling awesome. I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling hungry. I was a little hungry myself, but it's all good. So you all let me know in the live chat how you're doing. Let me know, how you're feeling, what's going on with you right now. Also, what are y'all sipping on? So I got y'all can't see it. I got because it's Heart Health Month, so I got my red sweater and my red cup. So I'm drinking straight up water tonight. I started to take out, because I have 2 bottles of, which one I have? 2 bottles of muscadine. I'm down to 2 bottles of muscadine, alcohol-free muscadine in the refrigerator. Y'all know how I get cloggy when I drink it cold. So I started to take one out this week so it could be ready for Thursday. And I heard the Lord was like, nah. I was like, okay, I guess it's water. It is. Or maybe that I'm saving those 2 for a special occasion. We'll see what happens. And so I'm sipping on straight up water tonight. And so y'all drop it in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're sipping on tonight. So y'all, I got a lot of information. I'm gonna take a sip. I have a lot of information to share with us tonight, you all. Because I got home so late, I did not get an opportunity. While I have the links ready, I did not have an opportunity to pull up the links so that I could drop them in the chat. I may do it while I'm talking, but I'll more than likely put the links in the description so that you can go back and read all of this information for yourself, okay? So I'll put the link in the description. Let me grab my glasses because the print is kind of tiny. Look, go ahead and call your friends, call your boo thing, your family, co-workers, and let them know that we are on the Stephanie Humphrey channel. Let them know that they need this information about heart health, because even though heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in women, Heart health, being heart healthy is for all of us. It is for all of us, okay? So this information is for all of us, and I do have some information to share with women, in particular Black women, so that we can make sure that we are healthy and stay around as long as we can for our children, for our families, our spouse, for our children, for our families. Okay, so y'all might want to grab a pen, grab a notebook, your journal, maybe get your technology device and get ready to take some notes. There's a lot of information, okay? Again, I will add the links to the description. So I'm going to give you some Heart Smart basics. This information is straight from the National Institute of Health, in particular, the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, which is a division of the National Institute of Health. This is the governmental website. I gathered all of this information from hearttruth.gov. Again, I'll add a link, hearttruth.gov. So look, I'm gonna give you some definitions. Y'all know I like definitions, so definitions, okay? We all know that our heart is a muscle and that it pumps blood throughout our body. Without our hearts, we will not live because we need the blood, running warm through our veins, okay? Our heart rate, or our pulse, is the number of times that our heart beats in 1 minute, okay? The amount of times our heart beats in 1 minute. And your rest, I have no idea. I have tested, not tested, but I have observed, I guess is a better terminology, better word to use, my resting heart rate, but I have no idea right now what it is. But that varies from person to person, you know. I don't know if it just varies from person to person. If you want more information about it, talk to your medical care professional. Heart health is the overall well-being of your heart. How healthy is your heart? Whew. My heart, I don't know how healthy my heart is, because right now my heart is not racing. My heart might be hungry too. Like literally have not had anything to eat since 2 o'clock, which is only like 6:30, so that's 4.5 hours. But like no snack, no nothing, and so my heart might be hungry, so it's feeling some kind of way. Anyway, okay, to be heart healthy, let me try to get serious so I can get this information to you. So heart healthy living involves understanding your risk factors, making healthy choices, meaning with your food or your diet, with your exercising, making sure that you don't stay sedentary, but getting up and moving, even if it's just walking through your house. If you have some mobility issues, just even walking through your house, just get up and move so that blood circulation can continue to flow and have a nice, I want to say breezeway, but have a nice flow, because y'all know when we're sitting down and our knees are bent, you know, our blood has to go over the knees to get to our legs. If it's stretched out, there's an easier flow of our blood. That's not medically proven. That's just what I'm thinking. You know, I've never heard anybody say, but that's just what I'm thinking. So understanding your risk factors, making healthy choices, and taking steps to reduce our chances of getting a heart disease. Those are living well, okay? Having heart healthy living, knowing our risk factors, making healthy choices with our body, what we take in, and what we're doing with this body, and then reducing our chances of getting heart disease, which we will talk about in this episode. Heart disease really varies. Like heart disease is like the umbrella, what has been known as like the umbrella for all heart diseases, which we're going to talk about tonight. But heart disease can affect the heart's function and also affect the structure of the heart. Cardiovascular disease is a term for all diseases that affect the heart or the blood vessels. So cardiovascular disease. A heart attack. All right, so don't want to do the plaque. So let me talk about plaque a little bit, you all, because plaque can cause, you know what? Hold on a second. I think I might get to plaque later. Well, since it's right here, let me go ahead and tell you. So plaque is I don't know what kind of substance it is, but plaque can lead to blood clots within our heart and our body. And that blockage or that plaque, that blood clot, it blocks the flow. And that blockage of the flow of blood can cause a heart attack. Okay. I'll just leave that there. Yeah. So plaque can also lead to blood clots, which can block. So hold on a second. Let me read up above and then let me get to plaque, because I did skip a section. So heart disease is also known as coronary heart disease. It's the most common form it's the most common form of heart disease. Coronary heart disease, also known as heart disease, is the most common form of like cardiovascular disease. It occurs when plaque builds up in our arteries, okay? The plaque, it reduces the amount of oxygen-rich blood getting to our heart, okay? And plaque is a combination of fat, cholesterol, calcium, and other substances that are found in the blood. So when there's a buildup of plaque, it can cause blood clots. Those blood clots stop the flow of blood, and it could cause a heart attack. A heart attack, which is also called a myocardial infarction, happens again when blood that brings oxygen to a part of our heart muscle suddenly becomes blocked. That means that there's not enough oxygen getting to our heart. And if the blood flow is not restored quickly, then the heart will begin to shut down or die. So a heart attack, also known as a myocardial infraction, I think it's misspelled here. It happens when the flow of blood that brings oxygen to a part of our heart muscle suddenly becomes blocked. And it inhibits the oxygen that's getting into our heart. And again, our heart, kind of like when we're brain dead and when we start losing function in our body starts to like slowly shut down. It's that same type of concept with the heart. Our heart begins to shut down and will eventually die if blood flow is not restored. Cardiac arrest occurs when the heart unexpectedly and suddenly stops pumping. If this happens, blood stops flowing to the brain and it stops flowing to other vital organs. A stroke happens when blood flow to the brain is blocked. This keeps nutrients and oxygen from getting to the brain, and if the brain doesn't have those nutrients and oxygen, again, it will cause let me make sure I'm saying it right. Yeah, I want to make sure I had it right. Then it will cause our brain cells to begin to die. So those brain cells begin to shut down, and there's some death that is occurring. I want us to note these other terms. So in case you hear these terms, you know what they are, okay? So a stroke is also referred to as a cerebrovascular accident or a transient ischemic attack, okay? So those are some other terms for a stroke. In case you hear them, you'll know what it means, okay? A transient ischemic attack or a cerebrovascular accident, okay? I am not a medical professional, but I can enunciate. All right, so blood pressure, which I do have a whole section on blood pressure, you all. But blood pressure is the force of blood pushing against the walls of our arteries as the heart pumps blood. And we know that our blood pressure is measured by the two numbers. Our top number and our bottom number. That's what we say, the top number and the bottom number. So the top number is the systolic number, and it measures the pressure when blood is pumping through our body. It measures that pressure. The diastolic is the bottom number, and it is a pressure between heartbeats when the heart is filling with blood. So the systolic is a pressure when the blood is pumped out of the heart. The diastolic is the pressure between heartbeats when our heart is filling with blood. And it still amazes me how blood pressure machines can calculate that. Because I'm just like, what in it measures those two things separately? It's just to give us those numbers. Like, I know I have a cuff here, so I know what the blood pressure cuff looks like, and then there's a wrist cuff as well. It just still amazes me, like, how that happens. Anyway, just my brain going and my curiosity that small device can determine those big numbers. So look, you all, your normal systolic number should be less than 120. That's normal. Their diastolic number should be less than 80. If your systolic number is between 120 and 129, your blood pressure is elevated. If your diastolic is less than 80, but your systolic, your top number systolic is 120 to 129, and your bottom number is less than 80, then you do have an elevated blood pressure. If your systolic is 130 or higher, and your diastolic is 80 or higher, you have high blood pressure. I didn't mean to break that to you. That was not my intent, because I'm not your PCP or your healthcare professional in any manner. I'm just giving you the facts. If you check your blood pressure on a regular basis and your numbers are high and you have not had that conversation with your doctor, I would like to encourage you, urge you, admonish you to have a conversation with your doctor. Potentially, if you can, go ahead and plan an appointment with your doctor so you can have that conversation and determine what your next steps should be. A few more terms as it relates to blood pressure. Preeclampsia is a type of high blood pressure that occurs only during pregnancy, usually around the 20th week of pregnancy. We already know what a blood pressure monitor is. We know what the self-monitoring blood pressure is. And I really need to do better. I think this year, I probably have checked my blood pressure maybe twice, and it's February and nearing the end of February. I was doing really well about checking it every day, but with the holidays and me being in and out of town this year, I have not been consistent, not even a little bit, in checking my blood pressure. So it's something that I need to go back to checking to make sure that I am maintaining a healthy blood pressure, systolic and diastolic number. All right, you all, let's talk about cholesterol. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Cholesterol, so we're going to talk about checking your food labels in a minute. So let me go with this now. Your cholesterol is a fat-like substance, the waxy fat-like substance that is in our cells, okay? Our bodies generally make all the cholesterol that we need for good health. Our body, see, when the Lord created our bodies, he created our bodies with everything it needs that pertains into life and godliness. Did y'all hear what I said? We have everything we need that pertains into life and godliness. God created our body to have everything it needs to live this life. I digress, because I know sometimes we eat these foods with high sodium, then we got to add salt to the food. I ain't talking about nobody, I'm just saying what I'm saying. Our bodies generally make all the cholesterol needed for good health. Cholesterol helps make hormones, vitamin D, and other substances that we need to help digest our foods. Y'all, let's talk about this high blood pressure. We're on cholesterol now. Cholesterol. There is the HDL cholesterol and the LDL. The HDL is a high density lipoprotein. That's our good cholesterol. Your HDL is your good cholesterol, your high density lipoprotein. It helps our body get rid of the cholesterol so that it will not clog our arteries. So it won't clog our arteries. I used too many words there, right? All right, so the HDL helps our body rid of cholesterol so it doesn't clog our arteries. So y'all don't be adding any cholesterol to the cholesterol you already have, okay? Your body has everything it needs that pertains unto life and godliness, including cholesterol needed for your health. I'm not fussing, I'm just saying what I'm saying. Your LDL, which is your low density lipoprotein, that's your bad cholesterol, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. When I went to my doctor's appointment at the end of last year, my LDLs were high. So we were hoping that because I don't eat meat, that my LDL would be like low. It wasn't. And at the time I was talking to my doctor, I couldn't pinpoint right at that moment. I'm sorry, let me backtrack, because I didn't get the results until after I left the doctor's office, because they had to do the, run the test. And so she sent me a message and let me know, and I was like, wow. And at the time that I replied to her, I wasn't even thinking about what I had been eating. I did tell her I had been eating, increasing my intake of cheese and eggs to make up for some of the protein, like I was making grilled cheese sandwiches, and adding cheeses to my pasta dishes and just other dishes. And then I'd increase my egg intake, so I was adding eggs to my salads. But after I sent that message to her and thought about it, the Lord reminded me, Stephanie, this is how your eating has been for the last few months of the year. And I was just like, that's why my LDL is high. Making healthy choices will help keep us healthy. That's for me. You just happen to hear me talking to myself. All right. So the low density lipoprotein, that's our bad cholesterol. Those are the deposits inside the blood vessels that carry blood to our heart and other parts of our body. Over time, that cholesterol, those cholesterol deposits can cause our arteries to narrow and become blocked. Triglyceride, so before I get there, let me tell you this. Your HDL numbers should be less than 130. That's your good cholesterol. I'm sorry, hold on. Let me try that again. I said that wrong, so I'm sorry about that. So your non-HDL cholesterol should be less than 130 milligrams. Your HDL, which is your high density, your good cholesterol, for men, it should be above 40 milligrams. For women, it should be above 50. I can only assume because of the estrogen and us carrying babies and our body makeup and things of that nature, okay? So your non-HDL cholesterol should be less than 130. Your HDL, for men, it should be above 40. For women, above 50. Your triglycerides, I'm gonna get it right. Your triglycerides are a type of fat in your blood that your body uses for energy, okay? But high triglycerides and low HDL levels can increase your risk for heart attack and stroke. So make sure that you are keeping a monitor, a check on your HDLs and your LDLs. As I've been thinking about or adjusting my diet for this year, because I was making some unhealthy choices those last few months of the year. And as I've been thinking about it, I wonder, I haven't looked it up yet, so if you all know, drop it in the chat. But I've been wondering, is there a machine or is there a test that I can take to test my HDLs and my LDLs? I think the only way that can happen is through a blood sample, kind of like for individuals who have diabetes. You check that through your blood sample. I think that's the only way to check the LDLs and the HDLs. And so I'm going to end up doing some research to see if there's a machine out there. Matter of fact, now that my memory is coming back, I actually think I did look up the machines and they were pricey. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I did look up machines. I think it is a blood test, very similar to, like I said, diabetes, people who are diabetic. And so I don't know if I'll get a machine because I don't want to be pricking my finger or trying to find blood. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. So since we were talking about diabetes, diabetes is a disease that occurs when our blood glucose is too high, okay? Having high blood glucose can cause health problems. And so we want to make sure that, like, the seasoned people in the Black community at least say that's your sugar, your diabetes, that's your sugar. But it occurs when the blood glucose, also called blood sugar, is too high, okay? Pre-diabetes is when your blood glucose levels are higher than normal, but not high enough for a diabetes diagnosis, okay? So this is something whenever you go to your annual physical with your doctor, your annual visits each year, that's what annual means, right? When you go to see your doctor, make sure that your doctor is checking your levels, like your cholesterol levels, your high blood pressure, which they do that anyway, but just make sure that your doctor is checking everything that they need to check while you're at your doctor's office, okay? Just to make sure if there's anything happening within your body that maybe you didn't feel, that those tests will reveal, okay, this is happening, let's make a plan of action so that we can help mitigate whatever the health issue is, okay? So just ask your doctor, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I do have some information to help you talk to your doctor. I think it's in this packet that I have. So if I have it, we'll talk about that a little bit later. And if y'all have any questions, like, add it to the chat. I may not have the answer for you, but I would love to be able to at least look up the answer for you, or at least have a discussion about it, while we're here together. So your BMI, I already know I'm overweight, y'all. I'm just full transparency. I am overweight. I don't say that to brag, just being honest. I know this about myself. So our BMI is our body mass index, okay? Our BMI measures our body fat based on our height and our weight. So based on our height and our weight, we should maintain a specific body mass. And if that body mass is outside of that normal number range, then we can be overweight or obese. Okay, we can be overweight or obese. You can also be underweight. We can also be underweight, okay? So being overweight and obese means that you have excess body fat, which really can increase your LDLs, okay? That's your bad cholesterol. And it can also lower our HDLs, which is our good cholesterol, all right? So if we're obese, you all, if we're overweight, then we need to talk to our healthcare professional and make a plan of action so that we can be healthy and be around long for ourselves, our spouses, our children, our family, our friends, and everybody that we are connected with. So let me give you some numbers for your BMI. If your BMI is below 18.5, you are underweight. If your BMI is 25 to 29.9, then you're overweight. And again, these numbers are measured based on your height and your weight, okay? Your height and your weight. Obesity is your BMI being 30 or above. Now that I'm thinking about it, I may be obese for my height and my weight. Yeah, based on my height and my weight, it's possible I could be obese. I really need to check my chart, check my numbers from my last visit. A healthy weight is 18.5 to 24.9. I don't know. I know that there is a measuring tool online that you can plug in your weight and your height to determine your BMI, but I don't know where it is. If I find it, I will put it in the description so that you can have that and check it for yourself, okay? Oh, it's right here. So when I share this information, it does have an online calculator. So you all, your waist size. So you can actually get a measuring tape and measure your weight, not weight, but your waist size for yourself, okay? So a healthy waist size for women is less than 35 inches. if you're not, of course, if you're not pregnant. If you're pregnant, you know, that's your baby growing, but that's for non-pregnant women. For men, a healthy waist size is 40 inches or less. Okay, well, I shouldn't say 40 inches, but less than 40 inches. So for non-pregnant women, it's less than 35. For men, it's less than 40. I know I was tempted to say non-pregnant men just because I said non-pregnant women. Men cannot, we're not going to have that discussion. Okay, because I'm just going to leave that there. So non-pregnant women, less than 35 inches. Men, less than 40 inches. So if you haven't met, you know what? I don't know where my measure tape is. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I know where it is. It's somewhere because I took it out of my toolkit. But my measuring tape is actually the stick measuring tape. I don't think I have like the flexible measuring tape that you can like fold up. Mine actually came with my toolkit, so it's on the little metal thing. And so I probably could test or not test, but I probably could determine my weight, my waist size, but I don't know if I will. I don't know if I will with that particular measuring tape. But that's something you all that you can do for yourself. All right, so you all, so here are some questions that you can ask your doctor to maintain your doctor, your healthcare provider, professional, your PCP, which is your primary care physician. These are some questions, you all, that you can ask them. And if you don't get them all now, you know, always come back to the broadcast and you can write them down or type them in at a later date. But here are some questions that, or I'll actually have the link in so you can get it from the link as well. But these are some questions you can ask your healthcare professional. As far as your blood pressure is concerned, you can ask them, of course, what your numbers are, which most of the time they tell you. If you like me, I'm looking at the monitor like, what? I'm checking the numbers. As soon as that cuff go, I'm checking numbers. And I'm just like, that's, you know, that's high today or whatever. Sometimes I can feel in my body if my blood pressure is going to be high when I go to see my dentist, because my dentist does check my blood pressure before she gets started, my dental hygienist. And then, of course, when we go to the doctor's office, that's one thing they're going to do. They're going to check your blood pressure and they're going to take some blood. They're going to do that. And they're going to send that bill. You can ask your healthcare professional, if you don't know already, how often you should check your blood pressure. You can ask them, what does your particular blood pressure numbers look like for you? Because so find out what normal is for you, okay, as far as your blood pressure numbers are concerned. And then you can ask them about medication. If you find that your numbers are consistently high, your doctor may recommend medication. If they don't, ask them, like, is there medication that I can take to normalize my blood pressure while I'm working on healthy choices in my life? So you can, you know, if you need to take blood pressure medicine, you can take your blood pressure medicine, but still be making healthy choices, still determine, well, I need to stop eating out fast food. I need to stop frying my chicken. I need to bake my chicken or broil my chicken or slow cook my chicken. You know, maybe I need to decrease my pork intake or my beef intake. You know, I need to stop eating those fries, even if they're cooked in the air fryer, you know, have a different potato choice. So as you're exercising, choosing whatever exercise regimen is good for you, you know, maybe it's walking, running, skipping, jump roping, aerobics, dancing, whatever the case may be, finding an exercise routine that works for you. You know, you might want to hit the gym. You might have your gym membership and you have all the equipment. I'm assuming it's been a long time since I've been to the gym, but you have all the equipment at your disposal there at your gym. So yeah, so just if you again need to take medication, hopefully it's just temporary while you're making healthier choices so that you can eventually come off that medication. All right, I'm gonna take a drink. As it relates to heart disease, you can ask your doctor, what risk factors do I have for heart disease? A lot of times our doctors want to know our family history, because family history does have a lot to do with some of the diseases and illnesses that we have. So knowing your family history is imperative to helping you stay heart healthy and overall healthy. If you are adopted, ask your legal guardians or your adoptive parents, who are my biological parents? Like, can I have their health history so that you'll know, well, what are some diseases or illnesses that I'm predisposed to? If you, you know, I don't know that they have that information, but if they do, I feel confident that they'll share it with you. If they don't have that information, if you can, and if you feel comfortable to do so, I would encourage you to see if you can find information about your biological parents. You know, if you don't feel comfortable to do that, then that's okay. You make the best choice for you. But if you feel comfortable to do it, it will be good for you to have at least their medical history, so that you'll know, again, what diseases or illnesses you may be predisposed to, so you can make healthier choices for yourself. You can also ask your doctor, is there anything you can do to mitigate or to change or hopefully decrease those risks for heart disease? You can ask them about your cholesterol. How can cholesterol affect me? You know, what food should I eat to reduce my cholesterol? What are some steps or measures I can take to reduce my cholesterol? And if my cholesterol numbers are good, what steps or things should I do to maintain those healthy numbers? Okay. You can ask, what is my BMI? And if it's in the range of underweight, overweight, or obese, how can I do to change this? What can I do to gain some weight? What can I do to minimize this weight that's on this body of mine? Like, what choices should I make? What foods should I eat? Like, you can definitely ask your healthcare professional these questions. If you are a drinker, if you are a smoker, you can talk to your healthcare professional about how those two things affect your heart. If you take drugs and you are coherent enough, to go to have a doctor that you go to regularly, talk to them about your drug use. I mean, drugs are legal, so you may have different thoughts about that. But if you know somebody in your family who is a drug addict, if you can get them to the doctor, it would be wonderful to get them to the doctor, just so that they can get their numbers checked, so that they will know where they are and hopefully be able to make healthier choices. I know when you have drug addiction, drug addicts don't think about anything much but their next fix. I recognize that. That's why I said, if you're coherent enough, because I do know that there are functioning drug addicts, and so, whatever unhealthy choices that you're making as it relates to alcohol, smoking, talk to your healthcare professional about that. I know drug addicts, that might be a long shot, but I'm being hopeful, just being hopeful. So as far as staying heart healthy, you can ask your doctor, what do you recommend I do between visits to keep my heart healthy? How much physical activity should I do to keep my heart healthy? How can I manage this stress in my life to keep my heart healthy? What should my diet look like to keep my heart healthy? And what tests should I get to better understand what's going on in my heart? So those are just a few questions that we can ask our healthcare professionals so that we can have some heart healthy living. All right. We've already talked about cholesterol. Make sure, let me just see if there's anything else that I want to tell you. So let me share this little bit of information about, or with you, about cholesterol, because it does have some greater details, and of course, being how to manage or how high cholesterol can be treated. And so I may get to that at the end, but let me share this with you all. We've already talked about our lifestyle can really affect how healthy we are, which can affect, the health of our heart. Genetics, knowing our family history, we talked about that. We also need to mention race and ethnicity, because that can also play a part in our risk for high cholesterol. So for African Americans, we are more likely to have high HDL levels, you all. I think that has a lot to do with how we eat. I think that has a lot to do with us living a sedentary lifestyle. And if you don't understand sedentary, sedentary means a lifestyle where you're just doing a lot of sitting or lying down. You're not getting up, you're not being active, you're not walking, you're not moving. Even if, like I said, if it's just walking around the house, inside your house, or walking outside your house, or just walking up, to the stop sign of the road, or maybe walking around your yard, is much better than being sedentary, than being still and sitting all the time. Okay, so I think that's another reason why African Americans have high cholesterol. Okay, and we know in addition to that, we do have a history of high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes. I know a lot of that is historic because of our eating habits, because of the foods that we were given. We were given not straps, but scraps from the master's table, and we had to do what we could with those the leftover pig parts. We had to do what we could with that, and so a lot of it is historical. You know what, y'all? I'm thinking of, there's a young man. I think I watched this on PBS, and I wish I knew this young man's name, but he actually did a history of foods from like the time where enslavement happened, the time of slavery, up until I don't know what time period, but he did a history on it. And if I'm remembering correctly, I don't know if he did a cookbook or not for healthier eating, but I was in fascination of him discussing this because he was being interviewed. But he discussed how enslaved people had to cook because the scraps and the leftovers that they had to make do with what they were given, with what they were allowed. And so, man, if I find his information, you all, I'll put it in the description. It's been some years since I've seen that, and so I don't have all the details of it, but it was a good show. I think it was on PBS, if I'm not mistaken. And so there's some historical context that we need to consider there, which I did not do the research on it, but I do know that little tidbit. So that's some research that we can do for ourselves, okay? For Hispanic Americans, they are more likely than others to have lower levels of HDL, or the good cholesterol, okay? Asian Americans, including those who are of Vietnamese, Japanese, or Filipino descent, or Indian descent, you are more likely to have high levels of LDL, or bad cholesterol. I'm gonna take a sip. White people, you are more likely than other groups to have high levels of total cholesterol. That surprises me. Yeah, that surprises me. So there's some other risk factors to high cholesterol besides our lifestyle, besides our history, besides our race and ethnicity, but our age, our sex, whether we're obese, and then other medical conditions could have a bearing on us having high cholesterol. Some of those medical conditions include lupus, multiple myeloma, polycystic ovary syndrome, sleep apnea, kidney disease, HIV infection, diabetes, not just kidney disease, I'm sorry, chronic kidney disease, and then diabetes. Those are some other medical conditions that could contribute to high cholesterol. Also, the medicines that we take can raise our LDLs or either lower our HDLs, okay? All right, I think that's all I want to say about that. There are some things that I'm going to talk about, I think, at the end that we can, some ways that we can be healthy. So I'm going to put that to the side. We've already talked a little bit about high blood pressure. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to share with you about it. So let me just share a few risk factors for high blood pressure. They include our sex, our race or ethnicity, our age, and our lifestyle habits. All right, let me see if there's something else. So I am going to give us a few steps that we can use to lower our blood pressure. Talk to your physician and get a plan in place, okay? Get a plan in place. Whatever that plan is, talk to your healthcare professional to see what's best for you. What my plan is may not be what's best for you. So talk to your healthcare professional, okay? Manage your stress. Take control of your eating habits and your physical activity. Again, if you're sedentary, get up and move. I'm gonna keep get up and move, walk around your apartment, walk around your house, walk around your mansion, walk around your castle, walk around your home, or walk around on the inside or on the outside. Okay, so let's just get up and move. And if you can, you all, because it is better together, like it is better to exercise with someone. Like if you are a senior citizen and there's a senior center in your community, getting out and meeting those individuals can help build your activity, doing activities at the senior center. If you have siblings or friends, just people in the neighborhood that you have connected with, ask them like, do you mind if we start walking on Saturday mornings? We can get our girl chat in. We can get our man talk in Saturday mornings, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 5 p.m., whatever works best for you. You know, see if you can, maybe you can start a walking group in your community so that everybody can start to live a healthier lifestyle. It really is better together. And if you have the ability, or if you want to, maybe you want to be a virtual buddy to somebody. Y'all get on a virtual chat or a virtual like a video and walk together. You walking in California, they walking in North Carolina. You know, maybe that works for you. Y'all can get y'all girl chat and y'all man chat on that way. So it may not be in person. It might be somebody that you're talking to over Zoom or over Google Meets or whatever video service that you use. And so it like doing life with others is definitely better together. So exercising is definitely better together. So if you get somebody that you can walk with, or a group of somebody that you could walk with or run with or go to the gym with, or have a dance party, like get on Zoom, be like, family, we meeting Friday night at 7 p.m. We're gonna have a party, a dance party. What songs y'all want me to play? We're gonna do 20 songs. We're gonna do 20 songs for like 30, 45 minutes. Play those songs and y'all just dance together. You know, whatever you need to do to motivate you to move, to be active, do that. Okay. Now, I don't want nobody in my family saying, Stephanie, I need to set up a family dance party. Don't do it, because y'all can do it. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. All right. Making sure that you're managing your stress. If you are in a high stress situation, just managing your stress. Hopefully you don't have to take medication to manage your stress, but learning ways like yoga, mindfulness practices, breathing techniques, like those are ways that you can manage your stress while you're on your job or working in ministry full time or whatever. There are things that you can do for your personal self-care. Just relax. I love sound baths, y'all. I know I tell you all about Black Women's Health Imperative. They have a sound bath that I absolutely love listening to. I listen to it just about every single day, Monday through Friday, because I usually listen to it early in the mornings. And Monday through Friday. Sometimes I listen to it on the weekends, so it's usually just Monday through Friday, almost every single day, sometimes a couple of times a day, depending on what I need. And I love sound baths, you all. Like I was first introduced to a sound bath through the Black Women's Health Imperative. There was 2021, if I'm not mistaken, they had their anniversary via Zoom, and I was able to participate in the yoga session. And this sound bath, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, it's beautiful and it's calming and it's relaxing. I'll put the link for the 3 sound baths that I normally listen to. They're all by Black women. I will put those links in the chat in case you want to tap into that for yourself. So managing your stress, whatever works for you. Maybe listening to classical music helps you manage your stress. Maybe walking helps you manage your stress. Maybe just sitting with your eyes closed and being still helps you manage your stress. Meditation, reading the scriptures, praying, whatever you need to do to navigate your stress, I encourage you to do it. You all, I know most of us work 40 hours a week, and we work which equals to 8 hours a day. Sometimes we do work longer. In the midst of those 8 hours, you have your, well, it's a 9-hour day. You have your 1 hour for lunch, so your 8 hours of work. In the midst of those 8 hours, it should be okay with your boss if you take a 5-minute break or a 10-minute break to get your mindfulness or your meditation or your prayer or your breathing on, okay? Because we have to stop to use the restroom. We stop and we talk to coworkers. We stop and do this. We ought to be able to stop and take about 5-10 minutes to just relax, to recenter, to just settle ourselves so that we can get calm, and then hopefully, you know, we'll be able to restart whatever that project or whatever that assignment that we were working on. In Madrid, is it Madrid? Yes, it's Madrid. They actually, what do they call it? So now I'm about to look it up. They actually, oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. Let me see if I still have it on my computer. They actually shut down. Businesses shut down in Madrid so that they can take a breakaway. It has a particular name assigned to it, but they actually shut down the city, shut down businesses. Now I don't know if the entire city is shut down, but businesses shut down. And y'all, they take a break. And let me make sure I have the right thing right. I'm not gonna be able to find it just because I want to find it. Let me see. I don't think I have it up here on my computer anymore. So I don't have it on my computer, so I'll add it to the chat. I'll add it to the description. But they actually shut down, they take a break, and then their nightlife is booming. Like the nightlife is booming. That's when you go dinner, drinks, your dance, or whatever. Their nightlife is booming in Madrid because they take that break during the day just to recoup, to be restored, to help reduce the stress, y'all. Come on and hear somebody. Praise God. All right, so whatever you need to do to manage your stress, and it's okay for you to take small steps to manage your blood. This is still under lowering our blood pressure. Take baby steps. Like, I would encourage you to take baby steps. Like, if you're going to decide to, maybe if you want to eliminate meat from your diet altogether, maybe eliminate meat from one meal each day. Maybe do that for a month, and then eliminate 2 meats or eliminate meats for 2 meals per day. And then eventually, you know, getting to no meats. That might be a plan. Maybe you decide, you know what, I don't feel like moving, but I can cut down on some of the fried foods, or I can cut down on some of eating out. That's my first step. Let me do that. Maybe you just want to eat your fast food, and maybe you're like, well, you know what, let me get up and move. So maybe I'll start with 5 minutes and increase it to 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 to 40 minutes per day is recommended. And so just take small steps, y'all. Don't shock your body and shock your life unless you're able to do that. If you're able to do that, then more power to you. Do what you got to do. But it's okay to take small steps to start living a healthier life. All right, ladies, all the ladies, all the ladies. The truth, okay, let me see. We already know what we already know what heart disease is. But for Black women, we are 1/3, let me get it right. Well, only about 1/3 of African American women know cardiovascular disease is their most significant health risk. Cardiovascular disease is our most serious health risk. Women in general, Black women in particular. Risk factors: high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, being a smoker, and regularly inhaling secondhand smoke, not being physically active, not getting enough sleep, not managing stress, eating a diet that's high in sugars, saturated fats, and sodium. Black women, these are some ways that we can take care of ourselves. First step, major step, main step, in my opinion, knowing your heart health. Like, what is your heart health? What is your blood pressure? What is a normal blood pressure for you? Does heart disease run in your family? To me, knowing your cholesterol levels, that's important for being heart healthy. So cholesterol, knowing your blood pressure numbers, and knowing your history. Those are some very important factors in learning about your heart health for you. Keep a record. If you can, keep a record of your daily food intake. Keep a record of your physical activity. If you can, modify how you're cooking. If you can, as you can, modify how you're cooking. I don't cook. I used to cook with seasoning, and I do have seasoning in my cabinet, but for the last several weeks, I have been cooking without adding not nara a trace of seasoning to my food. Not one. No salt, no pepper, no nothing. That's how I've been cooking for me. Now, if y'all come to visit the house, come to the house to visit, I got y'all. It's gonna be seasoned, everything gonna be good. But for me, I have not added any seasoning to any of my food for the last several weeks. I still eat my hot sauce now. And so that's what I think about. I'm like, well, I'm gonna cook these greens. I like hot sauce with my greens. I have some, if I have vinegar, I'll use vinegar. I think I have some apple cider vinegar in there that I saw that I forgot was in there. So I need to check the expiration date. So I did cook greens this week. So I've been eating hot sauce with them. Like, the hot sauce has some sodium, some levels of sodium in it. So that's all I need. For my cabbage, I normally add something to my cabbage. So for my cabbage this week, I did not add a thing. The cabbage were fine without adding anything to it. Them greens needed something to it. I ain't gonna lie. This is my second time cooking the greens with no seasoning. I don't cook with salt anyway. I don't use salt at all when I cook. And even when my family comes, friends come, I don't put salt in my food when I'm cooking. Let me think. Let me check. It depends on what I'm cooking. For the most part, I would say 90% of the food that I cook for my family and my friends, I do not add salt to it. I usually do like an all seasoning, and that all seasoning takes care of all of the seasoning that's needed for my food when I'm cooking for family and friends or guests. But this is the last 2 times I cooked greens. I didn't add anything to it. The first time it was okay. This time it was not okay. It was not okay, but I added my hot sauce and I got what I needed. But I would do well to keep apple cider vinegar in there. Like I said, I need to check the expiration date on the one that's in the refrigerator right now. But I would do well to keep some of that to help me season or flavor my greens. What I ended up doing is mixing my cabbage and my greens together. That's what I ended up doing. So just knowing our heart history, keeping a record of our daily intake of food, keeping a record of our physical activity. I used to add how many minutes I exercise on my calendar in the living room. I don't have a calendar in there right now because I haven't, my new calendars haven't arrived. I ordered some, and so I'll add that to. No, I'm not. No, I won't, because I'm not gonna write in that calendar. I have a calendar that I keep here in the kitchen. I'll probably use that to start monitoring my movement because I don't want to write. My new calendar that I'm getting, I don't want to write in there. And I'll tell you why next week if I remember. If I don't remember, when y'all see the calendar, you'll know. So I was talking about modifying dishes. I did get off, I'm coming back. Modify your dishes. Use some fresh herbs instead of the seasonings that you use. Try butter. I'm sorry, hold on. Using fresh herbs and olive oil instead of using butter and salt. That may help you flavor your food, and it's certainly healthier. I use plant butter. I've been using plant butter for several months now. I didn't even know plant butter was a thing, but I saw it in the grocery store and I've been buying it ever since. And so I use plant butter. Normally I use plant butter. If I'm popping popcorn, I'll usually eat it. I do not add salt to my popcorn. I have not added salt to my popcorn in years, but I have an air popper that I use. And sometimes I just want a little bit of taste of salt, so I'll melt my, not salt, I'm sorry, no salt in my popcorn at all. I want a taste of butter, and I'll melt some butter and put it on. Normally I just eat it plain, but sometimes I do want some butter, so I'll do that. And that gives me all the salt that I need in my plant butter. Also, if you can manage it, maybe change your eating altogether. Like maybe become a vegetarian, or maybe become a vegan, maybe eliminate meat, but maybe you're still eating seafood like I do. So as much as lies within you, that's why I kept saying if, because I was trying to figure out my next phrase. As much as lies within you, if you can manage and navigate not eating meat, or becoming a vegan, or a vegetarian, or some of the other terminology out there, pescatarian, if you can manage it, do it. If you can't manage it, then it's, y'all, did I tell y'all about my uncle? Child, I ain't even gonna tell him. Let me just stay focused on it. Let me just stay focused on the notes. Let me just stay focused on the notes. Okay, so we're talking about being heart healthy to my African American sisters, to my Black sisters. I'm talking to you in particular, but everybody can use this information, but I'm just talking to my sisters in particular right now. Make a realistic plan that fits your lifestyle. Make a realistic plan that will fit your lifestyle. Make a realistic plan that will fit your lifestyle. If you know you're not going to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning to go running, don't add that to your healthy lifestyle plan. Don't do it. If you know you're not going to go to the gym, then don't add gym membership to your healthy lifestyle plan, and certainly don't pay for it if you know you're not going. If you know you're not a runner, don't add running to your healthy lifestyle plan. Add your walking, or your dancing, or your aerobics, or whatever else you may enjoy. So make a realistic plan for you. We've already talked about making small steps toward living a healthier lifestyle. 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, and then you can increase it. 5 minutes at work in the morning, 5 minutes at work in the afternoon, 5 minutes while I'm retired and at the house in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon while I'm retired and at the house chilling. Whatever works for you, make a realistic plan for you, and do the activity that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy walking, if you don't enjoy running, if you don't enjoy the treadmill, don't do that. If you enjoy dancing, get your dance. So put on some Kool and the Gang, get you some Celebrate going on, get you some Earth, Wind and Fire, get you some September on, like put on some dancing, like get you a playlist on your Spotify or your Amazon Music or whatever. I promise you, I shouldn't even be saying those, so I'm not promoting them. Whatever music system or software that you use, I should say that. I'm not promoting the two I just named. Whatever device you use, YouTube, whatever, get you a playlist together of about 5, 10, 20 songs, whatever, and just get to moving if dancing is your thing, and maybe while you're dancing, maybe you can do some leg lifts up in there. You all, when you're ironing, you can do some leg lifts while you're ironing. Maybe when you're washing dishes, you can do some squats. Like you can actually incorporate exercise and physical activity into your normal housework. Praise the Lord. Yes, you can. All right. Make a realistic plan. Anything that will help you be physically active, do it. Whatever is best for you, physically active. Managing your stress. We need you all to manage our stress. Don't let people stress you out. Don't let people take advantage of your kindness. Like if you have a friend or a family member or a coworker they ask you to do something this weekend, can you help me plan my party, or can you make these favors for me for my party? Can you help at the church picnic? If you are already busy, it's okay to say no. I'm not able to help this time, but let me know next time and hopefully I can help. If you're planning just to rest, relax, I'm trying to put rest and relax together, relax. If you're planning to rest and relax that weekend, it's okay to say no. You don't have to tell them what you're doing. Just say no. I have plans this weekend. I'm not going to be able to help you, but ask me again. Maybe I can help next time. And if you're resting and relaxing, those are plans to rest and relax. Every time the church doors open don't mean you have to be there. Every time somebody asks you to do something does not mean you have to say yes. It's okay to say no. You can do it respectfully and say no, but it's okay to say no. If you don't want to do it, it's okay. Sometimes we just don't want to serve in the church, because I done been to the cookout. I done served at the women's ministry in May. I done served at the men's ministry in June. I done served at Vacation Bible School in July. I done served at the choir reunion in October. I mean, I skipped a couple of months in August. That's a lot. It's okay to say no. Give some other people in the church an opportunity to serve. I'm talking to me too. All right, so it's okay to say no, to manage your stress, to stay calm, to stay healthy, to not overwork yourself, because overworking yourself can cause stress because you're trying to figure out how can I get all of this done. All right, so find healthy ways to reduce your stress. We've already talked about yoga, mindfulness, meditation, reading God's word, praying, walking, whatever you need to do, or whatever practice is best for you to manage your stress, you do that. And I do want to recognize, I like that they did put this in the notes, that as a Black woman, as a Black man, as a Black child, as a Black person living in this earth, and especially in the United States of America, we understand living in the US as a Black person can be a stress, what I want to say, can increase stress just in general. And an increase of stress could increase our blood pressure. Just being Black in America is a risk factor for high blood pressure. Yes, I said it. I said being Black in America is a risk factor for high blood pressure. It is. It is. This Black History Month. Every month is Black History Month in my house. But I'm thankful for the national, international celebration of Black History Month. Being Black in America, yes, I'm going to say it again. Being Black in America is a risk factor for heart disease, for high cholesterol, for an increase of stress in our lives. Seeing our sisters and brothers being killed, being discriminated against, it increases stress because we understand that. We know that. We've experienced that. Manage that, navigate that the best way you can, you all, okay? Manage that the best way you can. Making sure that so I've talked about how Black women are at a higher risk for dying during childbirth for various reasons. Often it is because our medical health care professionals do not listen to us when we say we are in pain or something is happening in our body. Oftentimes we are not listened to. We are not believed when we say something is happening in my body during this pregnancy. I do understand that. So when if you are pregnant, make sure that you are talking to your healthcare provider about what's going on in your body. If they're not listening, it's okay for you to look up somebody else, get a second or third or fourth opinion if that's what's needed. It's okay for you to change doctors if you can. If you can and if you feel comfortable, if you're able to do so, it's okay to change to a doctor who can better support you as a pregnant woman. Okay. While you're pregnant, making sure that you're continuing to keep up with your blood pressure not your blood pressure medicine, but your blood pressure numbers. making sure that you are talking to your healthcare professional about having a heart healthy pregnancy, talking to your healthcare professional about preeclampsia and what that means, and if you are at risk for having preeclampsia, which happens when it doesn't happen, but it only occurs. I'm not gonna say it happens, only occurs when a woman is pregnant. It doesn't have to happen to you, but that's the only time preeclampsia is discussed, is during pregnancy, okay? So talk to your healthcare professional to see if preeclampsia is something that you're at high risk for or could potentially, get that. And if so, what's our plan of action? So it also says here that Black women have a higher risk of developing gestational diabetes. I don't know what that is, you all, so please look it up. If you're pregnant, if your spouse is pregnant, your girlfriend is pregnant, your loved one is pregnant, look this up for yourself. But I've heard of it, but I just don't know what it is. So just gestational diabetes. So Black women are at a higher risk of developing this. If I look up the information, I'll add it to the description so you all can look it up for yourselves. If you know what it is, go ahead and add it to the chat so that we can all be informed about what that is, okay? And that's all I want to say about that, Black women. Let's take care of our heart. I think that's all I want to say. Yeah, that's all I want to say about that. So you all, I've already talked a lot about the cardiovascular disease. We talked about this. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that I had all this information for us to understand. So there are a few things here that I haven't talked about at 7:43. So I'm going to give you the rest of this information. So we've already talked about different types of cardiovascular disease, heart disease, heart attack, stroke. Let me tell you what heart failure is. It's also called congestive heart failure. It means that the heart isn't pumping blood as well as it should, and that can cause our heart to fail, okay? In heart failure, our heart is still beating, but the body's need for blood and oxygen is not being met, okay? So your heart is still beating, but that blood and oxygen is not getting to the body like it should, and it can cause heart failure. Arrhythmia, there are different forms of arrhythmia, but this refers to an abnormal heart rhythm, okay? It means the heart might be beating too fast, the heart might be beating too slow, or it might just be irregular. Okay, if that is happening, I encourage you to get to your nearest hospital or medical facility so you can get checked out. Heart valve problems. Okay, so when heart valves don't open enough to allow the blood to flow, it can become a condition called stenosis. Okay, when the heart valve doesn't close properly, it means, okay, let me read this right to make sure I'm giving it to you right. When the heart valves don't close properly and thus allow blood to leak through, that is called regurgitation, okay? If the valve leaflets bulge or prolapse back into the upper chamber, that is called prolapse, okay? I will add this information. This information actually came from the American Heart Association. So I'll add this information to the description so that you can have it, okay? Let me see. And there are several links within this article that I have. So I'll add the link so you can go to the main link, and then you'll have the ability to click on the individual links that gives you more information about arrhythmia, about heart attack, and about stroke. All right. I think that's all I want to say about that. Yep, that's all. All right, you all. So these are some things that we can do to take action to be heart healthy, okay? We've already talked about getting enough sleep, making sure that you get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. I know y'all parents are looking at me cross-eyed saying, Minister Humphrey, Stephanie, sip and say with Stephanie. I have kids. Sometimes them kids don't want to go to sleep. They come running in my room and I can't get to sleep. What you want me to do? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. A regular nighttime routine for your child is helpful for them to be consistent in getting to sleep on time. That consistent, regular night routine can help them get to sleep and stay asleep. I will say that as an educator. Consistency is key. We're not going to bed at 10 o'clock at night and you 3 years old. Your hind parts is getting in the bed about 7 o'clock, 7:30. I don't care what you say. You're getting your hind parts in the bed, okay? So just having a consistent nighttime routine will help your child get to bed at their normal time each night and get to sleep and hopefully stay asleep, all right? So making sure that you yourself, adult, you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. If you're not able to fall asleep, there are different ways that you can get to sleep faster. It might be you listening to soft music or rain music, or I said rain music, but raindrops, because raindrops do, some people have put raindrops to a melodic tone or melodic, got my pronunciation incorrect or my pronunciation incorrect, but a melodic tone. I don't know, maybe listening to worship music helps you get to sleep. Jazz. For me, I want everything dark. There's no TV in my bedroom. I keep the lights out, blinds closed. Sometimes I close the door, most times I don't. I want it dark for me to go to sleep. My room looked like a cave. Because I just want it dark to go to sleep. So whatever you need to do to get turn off your devices. I cannot remember the recommended number. I did do a show where I talked about this. I'll look for the show and I'll put it in the description. It may not be tonight, but I'll get it in there within the next few days. But it talks about how we should turn off our electronic devices a certain amount of minutes before we go to sleep. I can't remember if it's 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 45 minutes, 120 minutes. I really don't remember. You can actually look that up for yourselves, but that's a part of your own. So we talked about the children having a consistent nighttime routine. We as adults should have a consistent nighttime routine. You know, if 9 o'clock is your bedtime, you got to shower, you like to pamper your feet and do your little foot glove and all. Start at 7 o'clock so that you can get your night routine down and be sliding in the bed at 9 o'clock. Get your prayer time in, your meditation, your mindfulness, your yoga, whatever. You as an adult should have a consistent nighttime routine. I said that last one for me. Eat better. Y'all, I look at labels. Like, I look at the nutritional value of the food that I am looking at in the grocery stores before I buy it. And if it's high in sodium, I'm not buying it. Not even a little bit. And I actually had to learn. I had to learn that. So making sure that you're reading labels, that you're choosing foods that are low in sodium, low in added sugars, and low in fat. Y'all, these breakfast drinks that we drink, I know y'all love y'all tea from your fast food and love orange juice and things. Get you a juicer if you can afford it, if you're able to. Get a juicer at home and make your own juice. Blender, use a blender. I think you can make juices with blenders, I'm not sure. But you can certainly make smoothies with your blenders. So just making healthier choices, like that fruit juice, like the breakfast juices, a grape juice, or orange juice and all that. Those little small bottles are so high in sugar, it's not even worth it to me. Getting iced coffees, is mochachinos and all this from our favorite restaurants, them things, y'all, are high in sugar. They good, because I've had them, been a while, but they're good, but they are full of sugar. Reading food. I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your own money and your own life. I'm just trying to help us all to better, okay? So choose foods that are low in saturated fat, added sugars, and sodium. Try some lean cuts of meat. Eat fish once or twice a week. Eat 2 or more meatless meals each week. Consider whole fruits, dried fruits, unsalted rice cakes, fat-free and low-fat yogurt, or raw vegetables as a snack. Sweet peppers as a snack is really good. Raw cauliflower and raw broccoli, really good as snacks. Maintain a healthy weight. We talked about that. Maintain a healthy weight. The recommendation is to have moderate intensity aerobic exercise, such as brisk walking, getting on your treadmill, those types of things, for 150 minutes a week. Okay, this had 2 different numbers. And they're not specifying what the first number is. So I'm gonna give y'all the second number because the second number is specified. 75 minutes of vigorous intensity exercising per week. So, okay, so now I understand. I didn't read it first. So let me try again. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise, such as brisk walking. Low setting on the treadmill. Or you can do 75 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise per week, like you're running or like increasing the speed on your treadmill. All right. And then we've already talked about logging what you eat. Drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water. Stay hydrated with water. I know some of y'all gonna say it's okay to drink these drinks with electrolytes in it. That's fine. But making sure that you're drinking water, that you're drinking water, that you're drinking water. And again, choose healthy snacks like fruit, vegetables, yogurt, nuts, instead of the chips and the cookies. Don't be mad. I'm just trying to help us all live healthy. Having snacks like cookies and chips in moderation. Like, don't be chips and cookies every night or every day. Moderation. If you can eliminate those things from your diet, fine, but moderation. So okay, I'm gonna let that be there. Be more active. We talked about that. You all also, I know that we talked about the rigorous exercises, but strength training, muscle strengthening will help us maintain a healthy weight. Get you some weights, your 2 pounds, your 5 pounds, your 10 pounds, your 30 pounds. I'm thinking about from a women perspective, but get you some dumbbells, some weights, and just lift. If you're sitting in your chair watching your favorite program, just lift some weights while you're sitting there. Just do some weights. Try a couple of reps on one arm and then a couple of reps on the other arm. And then you can do some reps together, like both arms together. Get you some weights, y'all. 2 pound weights, and just do it while you're sitting. Get to moving. Strength training helps build our muscles, helps build our muscle mass. Sit-ups and push-ups are good. Some forms of yoga are very good for muscle strengthening. Whatever works for you. Parking far away from the entrance, if you're able to, if you're mobile and able to do that, park away from the entrance and get some activity in that way. Y'all, I told y'all this story before. My niece and nephew, when they were younger, I used to park far away. Like, I would park far away from the entrance. Auntie, why are you parking this far? Because we need to exercise. We need to walk. Auntie, y'all don't like it? Y'all gonna sit, well, you're not gonna sit in the car, auntie not gonna let you. If you don't like it, just complain about it. Be happy when we get in the store so y'all can get what y'all need to get and we can go. So if you can, park far away to get some activity. Try to control, I ain't gonna say try, control your cholesterol as much as you can by eating a heart healthy diet. Again, foods that are low in saturated fats. Limit your alcohol consumption to no more than 2 drinks a day for men and 1 drink a day for women. If you can eliminate drinking altogether, that would be even better, okay? There is a program that the NIH is talking about here. It's called a Therapeutic Lifestyle Changes Program, and it combines weight management, physical activity, and diet. I don't know much about this program, but it's something that you can look into and see if it would work for you or something that will help you with your plan that you have for yourself to be healthy. We've talked about managing stress. We also need to make sure that we control our blood pressure by checking our blood pressure regularly. If you can get a blood pressure monitor at home, that will be helpful for you. You know, make the investment to get a blood pressure monitor so that you can monitor that at home. Keep a little notebook. I actually put my numbers on my calendar. So whatever works for you, your calendar, a little notebook. There are blood pressure cards that you can get from your doctor's office. Sometimes if you're going to a wellness fair, you can get those items out and about so that you can keep a track of your blood pressure. So you can kind of see what's normal for you. And if you see a history of high blood, that your history of your numbers being high, and that's something that you would want to talk to your doctor about. I've talked about practicing self-care, but I'll say it again, practice self-care, whatever that looks like for you. Saying no, doing mindfulness practices, breathing techniques, yoga, exercise, joining an exercising class, maybe even leading one might, help you because that's something that you enjoy, moving while you're teaching others to move. So maybe that's self-care for you. Whatever self-care looks like for you, take care of you. All right. Let's see. Making sure that we talked about everything. If you can, quit smoking. If you can, quit smoking. Making sure that I got everything, y'all, because I want to make sure that we are as informed as possible. All right, I'm gonna add these few, it's 7:58, I'm gonna add these few other things. Like, I know that I've encouraged you to talk to your healthcare professional, and you should, but in the meantime, I'll give you a few ways that you can make changes today. Now, don't try to make all these changes at one time, but maybe choose one or two or three that you might can do today or tomorrow to help you live a healthier lifestyle, okay? Healthy heart, what was on our first one? Because I really like that. A heart healthy living. For heart healthy living, you can choose a few of these to make some changes for your heart healthy living. Add one fruit or vegetable to every meal. If you get fast food, ask for a salad instead of fries, or maybe if you're gonna ask for fries, no salt fries, because you're getting salt in your ketchup. But if you don't eat ketchup, then try to still get no salt fries if you can. Instead of getting fries, though, it's best to ask for a salad. Have a meatless Monday. Come on, y'all, join me in the meatless journey. Okay, not combine, but commit to one salt-free day a week. Did y'all hear what I said? Commit to one salt-free day a week. Instead of using salt, add herbs, those fresh herbs that you can find at your local grocer or farmer's market. I keep talking about your grocery, but your farmer's market. My farmer's market is closed right now. I think they open back up next month, if I'm not mistaken. But salt-free day. That's good. I like it. Invite a friend or a colleague, coworker, family member to exercise with you. Instead of getting on the elevator, take the stairs. Take a break and play outside with the kids. Go and run around the yard with them kids. You're active and you're wearing the kids out so they sleep better at night. Come on, somebody. It's okay. March in place during a commercial. Get up and start marching in place, or maybe running in place, or maybe walking around your house during that commercial break. Just small steps, right? Baby steps. Join a weight loss program with a friend. March in place, okay. Practice mindfulness meditation for 10 minutes a day. Share a funny joke or an inspirational joke. I'm sorry, not an inspirational joke. Share a funny joke. And I say funny because some jokes not funny, y'all. Share a joke, something funny, or an inspirational quote to yourself, like speak affirmations to yourself, inspirational quotes to yourself, and share those with your coworkers, your family, and your friends, all right? Maybe you want to start a text messaging service where you're sending inspirational quotes or funny jokes to your family and friends. Now get their permission, because I don't want you to say that Stephanie said I should do this, and then they're mad at me. But a lot of people are already in like group chats and with their families. And so, just incorporate an inspirational message or a joke into that. Talk with your doctor about making sure that you stay heart healthy, managing stress, managing your weight, all of that. If you would like, join a support group. If you think that will help you, join a support group that you can walk with, or kind of going along with a weight loss program, just any type of support group or program that will help you maintain a heart healthy lifestyle, okay? Last thing, join a knitting group or a sewing group or a crocheting group or a woodworking group. You're getting some physical activity, at least with your hands, but you're having conversations with people, so you're being socially healthy as well. So those are just a few things that you can do to start being healthy right now. Yep, that's it. Okay, y'all, that's all. I know that was a lot because that was like an hour and a half. I know that was a lot of information, but if there were some things that you didn't get, make sure that you go back and listen to the rebroadcast, share the rebroadcast with your family and friends so that we all can be healthy, so that we can all be healthy together. All right, you all. So next week, y'all know I don't normally come on fifth Thursdays, but I have a special surprise for you next Thursday, right here on the Stephanie Humphrey channel, on the Stephanie Humphrey podcast. I'm debating whether I want to tell you what it is. Okay, I'm going to show you something. So this next week's broadcast is how do you say it? Not sponsored by, but it's not sponsored by, but I'll say encouraged by. It's not the word that I was wanting to use, but next week's broadcast is encouraged by my Uncle Gregory. And if you all were on the show last month when I was talking about love, my Uncle Gregory put a question in the chat, and I was like, I won't be doing that. But I thought about his question. I thought about this being Black History Month, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that on the 5th Thursday. So next Thursday at 6:30 p.m., I will be right here on the Stephanie Humphrey channel. We are going to I'm just going to show you one thing. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to show you this one thing, and that is what we're going to be doing next Thursday. This is what we're going to be doing. For my podcast listeners, if you can hear my tapping, this is what we're going to be doing next Thursday. So I got one that we'll be doing next Thursday. And I really don't want to wait. This is one I've been waiting for, and I really want to open it, but I'm going to wait till next Thursday. So that's what we'll be doing next Thursday. Y'all get it? All right. And if my mom, if you're listening, it's not for you. Praise the Lord. Y'all, when my mama see me, she's going to have a switch ready when she see me. But that's what we'll be doing next Thursday. Also, next Friday on March 1st, I will be celebrating, well, actually on the 28th, I will be celebrating 25 years in ministry, but my 25th year anniversary celebration is on Friday, March 1st at 7 p.m. right here on the Stephanie Humphrey channel and the Stephanie Humphrey podcast. I don't even know. She is so many things. But I admire this woman of God so much. Her name is Apostle Gwenna K. Span McCarty. She is bringing forth the word next Friday at 7 p.m. for my anniversary celebration. I encourage you to join us. I welcome you to join us Tell your family and friends that we'll be helping Minister Humphrey celebrate 25 years in ministry on Friday. I encourage you and invite you to come to help me celebrate, okay? So I also want to let you know that March 6th, on March 6th, I will be at a family event, and I don't think I will finish in time to be on the show. If I am on the show, it will more than likely be about 6:45 p.m. So it is likely that I will not be on Thursday, March 6th, due to a family event. So if I'm not on, that's why. If you see me come on about 6:45, then I just wanted to see you all, wanted to talk to you, so we'll be on. So it's more than likely that I will not be on March 6th. So just check in about 6:45. I think the event ends at 6, but just thinking about talking afterwards and then getting home. I think I want to be on because I don't like missing. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So if I don't see you on March 6th, I will see you on March 14th. Lord bless me to live to see it. I definitely will see you then. All right. You all, thank you so much for joining the broadcast. I really appreciate all of my listeners, and I will talk to you soon. You all be blessed and take care.